Let all cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jillian, joined by my co-host and master of birds, Scout, and today we will be discussing The Prophecies Begin, Book 5, A Dangerous Path. Scout, how are you today?
Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
Caw-caw!
I'm speaking with my people right now.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Birds are doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I've been enjoying... I'm very excited that we both have Wingspan now and we can play Wingspan on Steam.
Yeah, me too. I played with Erin this evening while I was waiting for food to be delivered. He was like, hey, I've got some free time. Do you want to hop on and do a really quick game of Wingspan together? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Such a fun game. I'm having a blast.
It's so good. I'm so normal about Wingspan. I can't. One day I'm gonna fucking get that high score for the weekly thing. That's gonna haunt that. I don't know how that fucking weekly score is so high. But we technically aren't here to talk about birds. We're here to talk about cats. How is the prey running?
The prey's running pretty decently. We ordered some Mexican food tonight, and I had a really good burrito.
Yes.
They did forget our drinks again.
Again?
Yeah, I just wanted some lemonade, man. That's all I wanted.
Man.
And then yesterday we ordered pasta. We have been very lazy this weekend.
Hey, it's the weekend.
It's the weekend, and we ordered pasta yesterday, but I got pasta carbonara yesterday. That place loaded it up on the bacon.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I did eat a little too much pasta. I went to bed feeling way too full. So I didn't get to eat my tiramisu yesterday, but I had my tiramisu just before we recorded today.
Oh, and that's a little treat for later, you know?
How's prey running there?
Prey's running pretty good. My dearest mother has been prepping Christmas cookies to send out to our family and you know, like a little packet of Christmas cookies. Listeners, Happy New Year from where you are, because this will be airing quite a bit later. But right now it is the holiday season.
It is 1 week before Christmas. Somehow it snuck up on us.
Somehow Christmas has returned.
Shit.
So my dearest mother has been making a bunch of various Christmas cookies, and I have been enjoying being a taste tester. There was also a batch of peanut clusters, which are kind of like this new recipe that she's trying. It's sort of a drop cookie with oats and peanuts and peanut butter.
Is it like a no-bake?
Yeah, it's like a no-bake cookie.
I used to make those. Those are so good.
They're so good. You make it, you make it on the stove, and then like you drop them on wax paper, and they harden after a few minutes. But the first batch, due to the fact that we tend to buy peanut butter that like doesn't have a stabilizing oil in it, it was too thin, and so they didn't harden right. But they still tasted so good, and I ate so many very sloppy little peanut clusters.
I gotta make some cookies this week.
Hell yeah.
We're having some friends over for Christmas Eve.
Fun.
And I was like, oh, I should make us some Christmas cookies.
I love cookies.
I really want to make cookies more often. It's just such an effort when there's only two of us.
Yeah. You know, you can always you can make a batch and then put them in the freezer.
Yeah, the thing is, we just don't have a ton of room in the freezer.
Yeah, that's always right.
We have a whole cake in there right now.
Damn.
Well, we have the whole top of our wedding cake in there.
Cake? Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult to store things in there when like a third of the space is taken
is wedding cake.
We have a very small freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Our mutual friend Ian has like one of those. He's got one of those like crate freezers.
Oh, damn.
Like an icebox kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And then the one other food story I have before we move on is that I'm hoping to make curry tonight. I'm gonna make chana aloo, which
Oh!
is chickpea
Yes.
and potato curry.
I think that's like the one type of Indian food that I can get Eric to eat, because I'm pretty sure he had some at the wedding we went to and enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a really nice. I mean, any curry is great, but I can't remember if I already said this on the podcast in a previous episode. If I did, I'm saying it again. There's not much better than a potato that's perfectly cooked inside of a curry.
Yeah.
It's just heavenly.
Yeah, it really is. Like, something about just a perfectly cooked potato.
Potatoes, my beloved.
Thinking fondly of potatoes.
Thinking
Let's,
fondly of them. I just think they're neat.
I think they're neat too. So, unfortunately, dear listeners, this next bit is very visual based. We are talking about Polish covers again.
I can't help it. I have to put them in the dock
Can't
every
help
time.
it. They're so cool. This one is so dope with Bright Paw like hissing at the cover. Sorry, I'm just making it bigger so I can see those dogs.
Yeah, they're really good.
The dogs are really well done.
They're like running through the river. They're running through water.
They've got those snarly little faces.
They're snarling. Bright Paw on the cover with like this splash of blood across her face.
She's got blood on her fangs too. It's so cool.
Yeah. And then the back is very upsetting. It has Snow Kit and the hawks, like, or the eagles about to swoop down on Snow Kit.
That is so horrible. He's
awful.
so little, and he's all by himself. Oh my god.
This book is wild.
This book was so much, gang.
And then the last image I have here is Unit Tiger Star.
He's so chunky.
There's a Chinese print of this cover with Tiger Star, sort of like a big Tiger Star superimposed over the back, and he's so fucking huge.
Just really round.
He's so round.
Oh, he's so round. Oh my god, there's a poll on on the Warrior Cats website for which of these deaths from the Prophecies Begin is the saddest. And I can't read it out because it does spoil 2 deaths that we get next time. Or not next time.
We better.
One of them we get next time, and then the next one is, I think, 2 episodes after this.
Yeah.
So the reason I started this conversation, let's take this little quiz. How well we know this book.
Yeah. Six of six. Star Clan above.
You clearly know your stuff.
We know our stuff when it comes to warriors. The options for the Bright Paw question were very upsetting. One of them was dog food.
Yeah, no face.
No face. Different. That's a different media.
Yeah,
that's a Miyazaki. Oh. We will get into it, but
we sure will. Yeah. Well, glad that we know our stuff. The one that tripped me up was like, what warning did Spotted Leaf give Fireheart? I'm like, she gives him so many fucking warnings.
Gives him
like
so many. Spotted Leaf, this chick won't shut up. That's mean.
Girl.
Spotted Leaf, I'm a defender of you generally. I think you're mostly fine. But oh my god, you
talk a lot.
Talk to Fireheart a lot in this book.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, there's dogs barking outside. Perfect segue.
Mm-hmm.
To get into the summary of this book. Our prologue takes us to the mind of another creature entirely. A ravenous guard dog and its pack, seeking freedom from the humans that cage them. Ferocious, hungry, and driven by pure instinct, these dogs escape, heading straight into ThunderClan's forest. At the gathering, Tiger Star announces his new leadership over Shadow Clan. Fireheart struggles to deal with the fact as none of the other clans know of his treachery, and he can't call him out publicly at this moment as planned. ThunderClan returns and shares this news, which Blue Star takes the hardest. The cats of ThunderClan are worn thin between fears of attacks from other clans, basic survival, and rebuilding their camp after the devastating fire. Traces of the pack of dogs begin to appear in the forest, and Cinderpelt receives an ominous message from StarClan of the words pack, pack, and kill, kill. Further struggles plague ThunderClan as Bluestar's mental state continues to take a downturn. She refuses to make the apprentices into warriors as her paranoia leads her to believe no cat can be trusted, meaning Fireheart becomes the de facto leader most days. Concerns arise over Snowkit, Speckletail's only surviving kit, being deaf. Even after this is confirmed and plans are being made for his future, the wild is cruel. A hawk takes advantage of ThunderClan's vulnerable camp and swoops in, taking Snowkit from the clan and killing him. More and more signs of dogs appear, but Bluestar refuses to listen to Fireheart's insistence of there being a pack, instead accusing WindClan of having stolen the prey. Fireheart refuses to allow blood to be spilled without reason, and so he sneaks into WindClan territory to plead with Tallstar to meet with Bluestar. The leaders meet and things are resolved, but Bluestar knows it was Fireheart's doing. He isn't punished, as in her mind, he is just another traitor now. At the next gathering, it is revealed that Crooked Star is dead, and the new leader of RiverClan is Leopard Star. Soon after, Leopard Star decides to try and take back Sunning Rocks. In the battle, Stonefur and Mistyfoot attack Bluestar, but Fireheart stops them by revealing the truth of their heritage. Graystripe helps to save Fireheart during the battle, and is then exiled from RiverClan. He returns to ThunderClan with Fireheart. After the battle, Bluestar promotes Cloudpaw to warrior because he does not have faith in StarClan and gives him the name Cloudtail. Swiftpaw and Brightpaw are jealous and go into the forest to find out who is stealing the clan's prey in order to become warriors. They're attacked by the dogs, leaving Swiftpaw dead and Brightpaw near death, grievously wounded. She's brought back to camp, and Bluestar performs a rare ceremony to give her a warrior name if she passes on, Lostface. Cloudtail is upset, but vows to take care of Lostface and continue to love her regardless. Tiger Star's kits, Bramblekit and Tawnykit, become apprentices with Fireheart and Brackenfur as their mentors. Sandstorm is upset that she was passed over yet again as a mentor, but eventually she and Fireheart make up and confess their mutual love. Finally, the dogs are found by Longtail. He discovers that Tiger Star has been keeping them fed. As they investigate the situation, they find a trail of rabbits leading back to ThunderClan's camp, with the body of Brindleface at the end. They realize Tiger Star intends to lead them directly to the clan's camp and to give them a hunger for cat blood. The clan must act fast, with most of the cats, including Bluestar, going to Sunning Rocks to wait out the threat. Fireheart is about to succeed when, at the very edge of the gorge, Tiger Star pins him down to try and sacrifice him to the dogs. As the leader of the dogs manages to grab Fireheart, Bluestar comes out of nowhere to drive the leader off the cliff, with the rest of the dogs fleeing. Unfortunately, she falls as well and is pulled out by Stonefur and Mistyfoot, who forgive her on her deathbed. In a moment of clarity, Bluestar reconciles with StarClan and tells Fireheart that he is the fire that will save ThunderClan, and he will do so as its next leader. All right!
Who let them dogs out?
Who let them dogs out? Dogs let themselves out, kinda.
Dogs did let themselves out, though it was gross negligence on the part of the humans.
I agree.
This book rules.
This book rules. Guys, this book, I feel like every second you turn a page, some new bullshit is occurring to these poor cats.
Things are happening.
So many things are happening. And Fireheart, God bless him, he's doing his best.
He's doing his best, my poor little guy. He has to deal with so much.
Yeah. So this book, when I was a child...
Yeah, tell me about it.
...was like the defining book of the Warrior series for me. Mm-hmm. Because when I was a kid, the concept of this pack of dogs that were so mindless that all they can do is like chant that they want to kill scared the ever-loving shit out of me. So here's the thing.
It's extremely haunting.
It's very haunting. Also, as a child, have had very bad experiences with dogs, leaving me with a great deal of anxiety around them. So this did not help when I was a kid, because it further reinforced a lot of my views of dogs in that they are just out there to bite.
Right.
So yes, terrifying to me as a child. I did have nightmares about a pack of dogs chasing me through the woods.
Oh, little Jill.
Okay, well, don't say that, because I also had nightmares about tornadoes running through my school's hallways. So, like,
I mean, that's also upsetting.
it is, but like, it's also absurd.
Yeah.
So yes, this was such a delight to come back to, because like, this is, for me, there are some scenes in the other books that I'm like, oh man, never gonna forget X scene. But like, this is the book to me.
This is the book in the first arc.
Yeah, like,
for sure. It is the one that like my brain goes back to the most.
I
It
agree.
is so evocative. The whole final chase. With,
oh my god, yeah.
With the dog pack, it like leading to the gorge. That shit lives rent free in my head, and it has for 20 years.
Well, no, that's So our mutual friend was like, all right, I'm never going to read all the Warriors books, but if you want to make me a list of like the top Warriors books that I should read, I was like, oh, this is on there. Like, this is one
Definitely.
of the books to read if you want to like understand why people enjoy it.
This book has everything.
It has everything. It has family drama. It has religious drama. It has political drama. It has horror. It has romance. It has betrayal. It's got everything, baby.
It has several upsetting scenes of cats passing away.
It sure does. Fucking great book, though. Like, loved it.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some of these upsetting deaths?
We should talk about the book. Yeah. A happy thing to start with. The first note I wrote upon starting this book was, I miss Graystripe. Then the third note I wrote was, OMG, Graystripe! And then the eighth note I wrote was, OMG, Graystripe times 2! I had forgotten that he ended up having such a large part in this book.
I did too. As much as I love him, I definitely forgot like his role that he played in this book. I was like, oh, Graystripe's here! Oh, it's my boy! Rick Aldis having said, oh, it is my boy!
But the just like writing I miss Graystripe and then him showing up moments later was really funny. I was like, oh, the prophecy is fulfilled. That's my man's.
It's my man's. He's just a sweet boy.
He's so good in this book. I think
really is.
Cherith Cherith Bulger is the author for this one. I think that she does a really good job of writing him and the sort of struggle that he's facing with. He really, like, his heart belongs in ThunderClan. He really would rather be back in ThunderClan, but he doesn't want to abandon his kits. But he also doesn't want to betray ThunderClan by like letting Leopard Star sort of go through with some of her nefarious or at least power grabby plans.
Yeah.
I forgot that Leopard Star kind of sucks in this book.
I did too. And the funny thing is I started reading our next book before we recorded this. And even from that, I'm like, damn, I kind of forgot how much she sucks.
I kind of forgot that she kind of sucks in these two really bad. This one and then the
and then the next one. Oh god, the next one.
Darkest Hour is rough.
Yeah, it's real rough, gang. We love a girl boss, but
I remember this is like the most surface level thing, but I always loved her as a kid because her name was Leopard.
Yes, same.
The thing is that leopards are cool, and leopards were my favorite animal for a good chunk of my childhood.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
She's got fucking leopard in her name. She has to be my favorite.
No, that's so valid of you.
Oh, one more quick Graystripe thing. I didn't put this in the doc notes, but I had it in my personal notes, is when he says, oh, come off it, Sandstorm.
He's so funny.
He's so funny. This whole scene where Sandstorm is like, Graystripe, you're not supposed to be here. And Graystripe's just like, Sandstorm, come on. It's me,
It's
Graystripe.
me, Graystripe. Come on. it's me. I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. I could be over here. What am I gonna do? Oh, it's so good. We have the sort of opening of the book with all of this drama with Tiger Star.
God, just picking right up where it leaves off in the last one. With Fireheart was like coming into this, he was like, I'm gonna expose Tiger Claw's treachery. I'm gonna warn everyone that he's out there with Broken Tail's rogues, and then he fucking saunters on up there and is like, I've never done anything wrong in my life. I'm so polite and kind, and I'm posturing very, very threateningly, but I am saying so many kind and politically neutral things that no one would ever suspect me of anything.
I'm just helping a clan that was in need to get better.
Yep.
Man, it made me,
he pisses me off.
He pisses me off, but affectionately. Like, he pisses me off in the way that I'm like, oh, you're such a villain that I just want to shake you around. But it's like good villain shit. It's just such good villain shit.
Yeah, he's an excellent villain.
He's a really good villain. I'm really appreciating him a lot more this read.
Oh, I agree. I think he is a very well written villain.
Yeah, some of like the novellas that have given us a little bit of extra stuff, like, just again, I'm still like reeling over his whole thought process and the look into his psyche from Tiger Claw's Fury.
Yeah.
That has definitely been coloring a lot of how I read the scenes with him in the book since we went through Tiger Claw's Fury.
No, I agree.
It's tasty stuff. We also almost immediately get this deeply, deeply sad arc of Snow Kit.
God, it's such a short little arc, and it is so upsetting.
The thing is that it's really not, it's very fascinating that it's kind of slotted in here, because it's not, I wouldn't call it plot critical. I wouldn't call it like, it's very much sort of like a little bit of prestige drama, like interpersonal social drama that is sort of inserted into the wider narrative here, but it works so well for me.
Oh no, I agree. And I do think it has its effect on the rest of the plot, because I do feel like if Snowkit hadn't died, Tawny Paw would have been Sandstorm's apprentice.
True. That is
because
true.
Brackenfur wanted to train Snowkit and was like, yeah, I can work with him. Like, we can figure this out. And then, the deafening happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's such a scary scene. I really think between this and Brightstream in the very first book of our reading in our very first episode, the scenes where cats are carried off by large birds are, I think, like the scariest ones to me.
It's just horrifying.
It's a very frightening concept.
Yeah, I agree.
But I gotta shout out my boy Brackenfur. I gotta shout out my best boy.
Oh, he was such a good boy.
This whole arc is, I think, a lot of the like where my love of him stems. Mm-hmm. You just really see his gentle and serious nature come out here. He sort of ends up working with Snowkit's mom, Speckletail, to try and like start teaching him cat sign language, essentially, and like help this deaf kid. It is this little white and blue-eyed kid that was born deaf, and so Brackenfur really wanted to mentor him, but he's probably never going to be able to be, like, maybe he won't be able to be a full apprentice or a full warrior because of this disability. Mm-hmm. But Brackenfur and Speckletail, there's some really touching scenes of the both of them working with Snowkit to sort of try and figure out his limits and his
abilities and like what he could learn. Yeah.
And really try and communicate with him, which it seems like wasn't happening that much for like the first 5.5 months of his life or whatever. And it's really sad that because the camp was in the fire in the last book, there's not enough cover, and the hawk swoops down, and Snowkit, being deaf, couldn't hear the other cats calling out to him. And he gets carried off, poor little guy.
Yeah. And it's so heartbreaking because Speckletail's trying to, like, motion for him to come, but she can't get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's, like, she is, like, about to go running off into the forest to, like, chase this bird down. And it's like...
And Brackenfur does go off into the forest trying to chase the bird down with Swiftpaw. Oh.
It's heartbreaking.
It is. But it's really, like, this is another thing that has definitely stuck with me since, like, the first time I read the book.
Absolutely. Whew. Speaking of more death, Swiftpaw and Brightpaw. Yeah, this is really just, to me, this was the moment of this book now and when I was a kid that I'm like, this is the moment. Like, this is it. And it's so upsetting. These, because Blue Star does not want to make any of the apprentices warriors because she doesn't think that any of them can be trusted. And Fireheart keeps trying and trying to convince her, and all of the apprentices are like, you're not doing enough. And he's like, I swear to you, I'm trying. And he really is, and it hurts so bad because he's really trying so hard.
The scenes between him and Longtail are agonizing because I feel so deeply for both of them in that situation. Like, Longtail absolutely has every right to just be pissed the fuck off at Fireheart and be like, why? Because Blue Star is exhibiting preferential treatment towards Fireheart, but Fireheart is not. Like, Fireheart is like, please stop, please, oh my god, stop doing this, stop doing this to me, Blue Star, stop it. It's good stuff. Yeah, and he tries, and then his apprentice is made into a warrior. Insult to injury, and he's like, this is so bad. Yeah, and so Swiftpaw and Brightpaw are like, well, we're gonna prove that we deserve to be warriors too. And the other apprentices were like, I think it was Thornpaw, right? Well, it's Fernpaw that goes and talks to Dustpelt about it. That's right. Yeah. They're like, we didn't want to get them in trouble, but they wanted to be warriors too, so they went off to go, like, solve this big problem so that Blue Star would recognize them and, like, make them warriors. And then they just find these two young cats just absolutely torn to shreds. Like, the way that they described Swiftpaw's body. I know. Let me find it. The apprentice lay on his side, his legs splayed out. His black and white fur was torn, and his body was covered with dreadful wounds ripped by teeth far bigger than any cat's. His jaws still snarled, and his eyes glared. He was dead, and Fireheart could see that he had died fighting. Swiftpaw had been slaughtered like prey. The hunters in the forest had become the hunted. Something had happened in the forest. The balance of life had changed. And for a moment, Fireheart felt the ground beneath his paws shift. It's like, the fact that he's describing him like prey is such excellent, subtle foreshadowing for what Tiger Star does to Brindleface later on. Yes. There really is a haunting and horror element to the whole arc of the cats, who are definitely the apex predators in this English forest. Mm-hmm. Being hunted. Being hunted, yeah. Being like, they're becoming another rung on the food chain ladder above them is, like, very, very scary. I agree. And I think written very well there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that to me, like, you talk about Snowkit being like your touchstone. This, I think, Swiftpaw and Brightpaw being killed by the dogs is, like, definitely mine. Yeah. But Brightpaw doesn't die. Except Brightpaw. Brightpaw does not die. She doesn't. She is very, very badly wounded, and Blue Star does something that I
still find almost unforgivable.
It's so bad. It's so bad, dog. It's
like I have a lot of sympathy for Blue Star. I know, like, as we've discussed, you know, she has a myriad of issues going on here. Like, the few cats she thought she could trust have all turned their backs on her. She lost so much. She gave up so much to save her clan, and she is watching things fall apart around her, and she is questioning every decision she has made in her whole life. But like,
she is, as the kids say, going through it.
She's going through it, but also to see this young adult, this child almost, dying in front of you and saying, you know what? If you die, I'm gonna make sure that whatever gods exist, I'm gonna spite the gods by giving you this horrific name. And if you don't die, then sucks. You have to live with it.
Sucks for you. It's so rough. So yeah, Blue Star gives the warrior named Lost Face to Brightpaw, who has had her face disfigured by the dog attack. She lost one eye, she lost one ear. She barely makes it through like the early stages of recovering from the wounds. But yeah, it's so rough. Just that she does basically use Brightpaw as this tool in her, like, in the war with StarClan that is completely just inside of her head.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's so rough.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I am all the more grateful for Cloudtail in this book.
Oh,
what a perfect boyfriend.
What a perfect boy. He literally, like, Fireheart is a little bit orange still. Doesn't quite get it. He's like, Cloudtail's awful close with Brightpaw.
Wow, they're such good friends.
Such good friends. And then Cloudtail is over here like, I don't give a shit if she is named Lost Face. I don't care that she has been brutally injured. I'm going to love her because I like Brightpaw for who she is inside. I'm like,
he says,
you are such a good boy. Like, you've given so many problems to your uncle, but you are deep down just a very genuinely sweet boy. And like, this is the moment that in the past, like, turned me around on Cloudtail completely.
Yeah,
I was like,
absolutely.
You know, I thought he was being a little bit of a snarky, kind of bit of a shit. You know, he wasn't really like having a two-way conversation with his uncle, which his uncle was also not having a two-way conversation with him. They were just kind of
a lot of
saying their opinions at each other. But this moment
too real
was like, oh, like, this is where we see who Cloudtail really is. Like, he is a genuine and kind individual who is like, he just loves a lot. Like, he has so much love in his heart.
He loves so much. The way twice in here after the accident, after the attack, he like just sort of almost instinctively, almost like, of course it's a given, but I have to say, like, but I'm going to say it, is just like, Brightpaw, you're still so beautiful to me.
Yeah, and the way he's like
one of the first things he said, he's like, you're still beautiful. I'm gonna be here for you. Don't worry. I'm not gonna leave you.
Also, the other thing that just really like stuck with me this time is when he's like, when Brightpaw is starting to get better at like starting to be able to move around or starting to be able to talk, he has clearly spent so much time with her because he's like, oh, Fireheart, don't approach her on that side. She can't see.
Yes!
And it spooks her. Like, you'll be able to talk to her better if you like let her know. And he's like, hey, it's okay. You know, it's just Fireheart. He's here. It's so sweet.
It's so good. I gotta bring up just another moment of the Fireheart and Cloudtail like disconnect. Is I have a quote written down here of Fireheart watching Cloudtail comfort Brightheart, and the thought that he has. Fireheart felt a burst of pride. If only his former apprentice could show the same unquestioning loyalty to the warrior code, he would be one of the finest warriors in ThunderClan. Fireheart, I cannot stress enough, my brother in Christ, how missing you are the point. That's
Yeah.
Never has a point been missed so hard. The whole point is you don't need the code to be a good warrior. You can just be a good person. You doesn't have to be my dude. My dude, you literally in this book, you betray the code on multiple occasions. How are you not seeing this?
Yeah.
It's so much.
It's really funny.
It's so funny. Anyway, orange cat behavior.
Very orange.
Also orange cat behavior is him not seeing how much the girls are fighting over him. Sandstorm and Cinderpelt are like in a full-on silent battle about
for his attention.
For his attention through this whole book.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And he's like, what is up with them?
He's like, why are they so sassy to each other? Like, what's going on?
Why are they, like, exchanging venomous looks?
Like, to me, it feels like Sandstorm definitely thinks he has a crush on her when he's literally just, like, still feeling that guilt of, I failed her as a mentor, so, like, I've got to be there for her.
I think it's also that he genuinely, like, they already sort of have a clan leader and medicine cat
dynamic,
like,
yes.
sort of dynamic going on where she is definitely already an advisor to him in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And he like goes to her for advice, and he also goes to her because there's some things that like he has shared with her as medicine cat that he hasn't shared with Sandstorm.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to, like, he's just like, I'm just trying to go talk to my friend and figure out what the fuck is going on. And Sandstorm is like, why are you spending so much time over there with her?
Fireheart, you know you can't get with a medicine cat, right?
Fireheart, stop it.
Meanwhile, if Fireheart knew, he'd be like, what do you mean? I don't have a crush on her.
I know. Fire, it's Sandstorm. There's the one scene where Sandstorm is like, are you just gonna leave me over here all day and not come eat the pigeon I picked out for you or whatever? The girls are fighting.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's really funny. I do really love that Fireheart and Sandstorm confess in this one. I think that was just a really nice, like, moment for them in all of the shit that happens.
It's a good time. Fire fumbles the bag so many times.
She is so patient with him.
Geez, Sandstorm isn't forgiving me no matter how hard I try. Oh, you mean the way that you passed her over for having an apprentice and you keep undermining her authority and you aren't really respecting her wishes. You're real fucking Casanova out here, Fire. You're
also,
really...
like, the way he literally doesn't explain why... Like, he never explains to her, like, the real reason why...
No! He literally doesn't!
Why she didn't get the apprentice. He could have said, well, Brackenfur was going to be going to mentor Snowkit, so I felt it was only right to give him Tawny Paw, and also, I'm fucking worried about Tiger Star coming and killing people, so if I'm mentoring his son, then he's gonna target me, which he's already targeting me. I don't want him targeting you.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't just fucking say that because he's stupid.
I mean, it is the fact that literally a week after his previous apprentice graduated to warrior, Fireheart is like, I am also going to mentor Bramblepaw is very funny protagonist privilege stuff once again.
I think a few other cats have gotten that, though.
I think probably.
Especially deputies, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But also, like, there's just so many goddamn apprentices in ThunderClan right now.
There's so many. Even when the series started and they were like, this is the fewest apprentices we've ever had in ThunderClan history. And it's like, what, 5 of them? What do you mean?
Wild stuff.
There's always so many kids running around this ding-dang clan.
They cannot stop fucking.
I love all of them, though.
Oh, man. So... I mean, I don't, like, have a ton, like, a lot of, this is just an action-packed book. I feel like we've talked a lot about a lot of the big moments, so I do want to talk about the last 2, like, big moments.
Yeah.
Tiger Star's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
What? Bad. yikes, 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 yikes.
Just the slow reveal as they're following this trail of rabbits, and then they're like, what the fuck? Why is Brindleface here?
Oh, the creep, the like slow creep of the trickle of information, like the way that the scene, another great Longtail scene. This is a good Longtail book.
It really is.
The scene where Longtail comes to Fireheart to like seek aid, and Fireheart has a paranoia moment, which shout out to my girl Cinderpelt for being like, Fireheart, you know who you sound like right now?
You kind of sounded like
Blue Star. And he's like, no, I don't sound like fucking Blue Star. I'm being totally reasonable and not paranoid at all. But Longtail comes and is like, Fireheart, I'm freaking out. Tiger Star, I smell Tiger Star at Snake Rocks. Something is going on. Something really bad is going to happen. You have to listen to me. And Fireheart, of course, is like, well, Longtail used to work with Tiger Star, so how do I know that? And he goes and talks to Cinderpelt. But the follow-up scene of he goes to find Longtail, and Longtail is pleading to White Storm, like, White Storm, please, Fireheart won't listen to me. You have to listen to me. This is really bad. It's good. But yeah, that reveal that like Tiger Star has been scented at Snake Rocks, and they go and they find this rabbit in front of the cave. There's like a cave where the dogs have been. It's good stuff. And they follow the trail of rabbits to the body of Brindleface, who Tiger Star kills to give the dogs a taste of cat blood, which is so
fucked.
But
also, he kind of slayed.
His metal is fucked also. It goes so hard. It
sucks, but also, as far as villain moves go, pretty
big
W
good move. For a villain move, for sure.
Yeah.
Again, he's a good villain.
He's a really good villain. And then our final death of the book comes at the very end. Man, Blue Star, finally having her clarity.
Oh, the clarity in like the throes of death is rough.
That and the clarity in coming to save Fireheart, because Tiger Star was there. She could have gone after him. Mm-hmm. But, you know, somewhere in her mind she knew like it would be pointless to go after him. He's got 9 lives. If I save Fireheart, he is going to be able to save the clan. Yeah. And just taking that self-sacrifice when she has been so, I don't want to say selfish. That's the word I'm looking for. Not selfish, but she has been like isolating herself to protect herself.
Exactly.
This entire book.
Mm-hmm.
And she finally is like, no, you know what? I have to give myself up to protect not just Fireheart, but literally the entire clan.
Yeah.
It's a good scene.
It's a good scene. It might be heavy-handed, but damn, the sun breaking through the clouds to shine on his flame-colored pelt.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
That shit kind of rules. That shit kind of, and you know, it works in a book like this for sure. This is that fantasy shit, you know. It's a book about cats, but it's also a like high fantasy tale in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I think the way that Mistyfoot and Stone Fur share tongues with her in the last moments of her life is also very touching. I feel bad for those two, man. They really,
yeah.
It's just a lot. That's a lot to process.
It's a lot for them. Like, they are just trying to live their lives.
It's really, like, honestly, it was very kind of them to forgive her in her last moments, because they like, man, if I were in their situation, I would be like, man, I don't fucking know what's going on. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know you from anybody. Did they lose? Did Greypool die in this book, or was that the previous book?
I feel like it was the previous book, but maybe it was this book.
That scene with Greypool and Tiger Star was really fucked up. I think it was.
Oh, damn. She did die in this book. Damn, much happened in this book.
So much happened in this book. That scene was fucked up, because she's also, Greypool was also suffering from some dementia in her old age, it seemed, and she accidentally revealed stuff to Tiger Star earlier in this book about the quote unquote kits from ThunderClan.
Yeah.
That scene is rough when he like scares her so hard she falls down a hill and puts her head on a rock, bro.
Yeah.
And he just looks at her. Man, Tiger Star, villain of all time.
For real.
The last thing I have to say is that ending the book with Fireheart looking at Graystripe and saying, "Let's go home." Yes, we are so fucking back. This rules. Yes, there
were some great Graystripe Fireheart moments in this book. I just gotta say.
It's true. It's true.
I was reading it and was like, yeah, you know what? I get it. I understand why people are like, yeah, this is it. And I'm like, yeah, this is. They are in love.
Oh, they really are.
Yeah. You want to take us to the Erin Corner on that happy note?
You might have heard pain in my voice, dear listeners. That's because it's a little bit of a different Erin Corner today.
Oh, yeah, it's a bummer.
I was once again struggling to find anything of particular interest, any trivia, etc., to share about the writing of this particular book. And I had gone onto the Warriors official website to maybe find some information. And instead, what I found was an article all about the new official artwork for the upcoming revised Ultimate Guide. There's some. There's some art that we're a little suspicious of. I'm pretty sure there's some AI art happening here. I don't want to come for Mr. Owen Richardson, who is the artist who has been doing all of the like re-release and like redone covers. But I feel like I really get the feeling that there's one here specifically of some characters that we will meet in the next arc, Stonefur and Brooke. Wait, this is Stonefur. Then no, Stormfur. This is Stormfur. Okay,
I know it always confuses me because Stormfur and Stonefur have such similar sounding names.
Fucking names. Stormfur and Brooke are characters that we will meet in the next arc, and there is some artwork of them. And they're just Brooke's whole bottom half is just missing, gang. It's bad. It's really not. I don't want to be mean. It's really that a computer has touched this. I really think that it is either Owen Richardson himself under penalty of deadline or like some helpless intern had to feed this image through an AI to widen the field of view, because the cats themselves are really pretty okay, but there is this like bottom third or quarter of the image that's just really not working. And there were several images that seemed to have some similar issues of like maybe AI touch up. Guys, just give just in general, give your artists enough time to finish the work that they're doing. Give them enough money, pay them properly to be able to do the thing they want to do. You shouldn't have to be feeding things through AI. You shouldn't just don't do it.
Yeah, it sucks. Like I don't have any, I have a lot of words about AI.
But not necessarily. This podcast isn't necessarily the place to say them. Yeah. As an artist myself, it just hurts to see this kind of thing. My heart goes out to the artists that have to do this for whatever reason. Because I think
more than likely in a lot of unreasonable deadlines and crunch work.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, I really think that it is a crunch issue. There aren't really that many tech bro artists out there that are getting, contract work, I think. It's usually people who are in a very difficult situation, or perhaps even sometimes it is images being altered after they've been sent in. Because I swear that they were just like, we want more of this image.
Yeah. It definitely looks a lot like that kind of expanding the field of view.
Yeah. But just end on an unrelated but pleasant note. We are, as I said earlier, we're with Cherith Baldry on this one. Cherith, you really popped off with this book. This is a great book. It might be my favorite of the original run of the first 6 books. Love this one.
Yeah.
Good time. Yeah, let's head over to Sharing Tongues.
I don't have a ton, but that's okay. Checking in on AO3. there's fewer than 20 tagged for this book in particular. There was one where that is a continuation, I think I mentioned it last time, of an AU where Yellowfang was saved instead of Bramblekit.
Yeah.
There was I put in this screenshot of the tags and summary for this fic. It's called Hiraeth, a homesickness for a home to which you cannot return, a home which maybe never was, the nostalgia, the yearning, the grief for the lost places of your past. And it is about Blue Star and her kits and Oakheart, and it's from what I could tell, it is a very introspective character study. Looking forward to reading that. Seems like it'll be a real sad one.
Ow.
A couple of folks have written Swiftpaw's death scene.
Ow.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. But also, you know what? That's a great idea for a one-shot, because they do not show it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Swiftpaw has 99 tagged fics on AO3.
Swiftpaw is a very popular minor character.
He's a very popular minor character.
There's like a series of AU like AMVs on YouTube that also feature a lot of like Longtail and Swiftpaw.
Yeah, I think it's a good place to explore.
Yeah, definitely.
I did paste this one because I do want you to read it. I also need to read it, but it is a Sandstorm character study.
Ooh.
It's technically also, I think, some Darkest Hour stuff, which is why I'm like, maybe we shouldn't. But her thinking about the fact that Tiger Star killed both Redtail and Brindleface.
Oof.
Because, if I'm not mistaken,
I always forget that. Actually, Sandstorm's father is, I believe, a kind of, or it was for a long time, a point of contention in the fandom where it hadn't been confirmed, and so there was a lot of who is Sandstorm's father.
But a very popular headcanon was that Redtail was her father. Mm-hmm. And so it is kind of an exploration of that feeling of how Sandstorm feels because Tiger Star killed Redtail and Brindleface, and how she kind of feels about him. Yeah. I like Sandstorm so much.
I like Sandstorm a lot.
She's such a
I love Sandstorm. She puts up with so much.
She does. She puts up with so much. Have some more of that Russian woodcut art.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, this Blue Star is fascinating. I really love it. Has just a blue star laying on the moonstone looking up at the sky, and there's like these stars falling in a waterfall on her. It's very cool.
It's very cool abstract. She looks like a dog.
She does look like a wolf. I was about to mention that.
She does look like a wolf. Blue wolf.
Next, we have from Chaotic Trash on Tumblr, Fireheart carrying on with his deputy shit while his clan is literally falling apart. His arch nemesis is on the loose. His leader is losing her mind. His nephew/apprentice constantly is disobeying him. His crush is giving him mixed signals. His best friend left the clan, and they lost their home and some of their clanmates to a pack of rabid dogs and a literal fire. This is fine.
This is fine, dog.
Like, He's going through it. Let him rest.
He's going through it so hard. I feel like I clowned on him a couple of times in this episode, but for real, Fireheart is going through it.
Well, and this is what the next one that I found. The next one that I found is from Splash Spec, and it's rereading The Prophecies Begin for fic research is such a weird experience because there's moments I've completely forgotten about over the years. Like the time Fireheart literally staged a mini coup because Blue Star was about to start war with Wing Clan over nothing. How come we don't talk about that more? Because, like, this plot is non-stop. Like, there's just so much that happens.
Everything is happening all the time. And it really is, like, everybody is angry at him also.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're angry at him for most of the things that they're angry at him about are things that are out of his control. Mm-hmm. And he's just trying really hard.
Yeah. And then lastly, I have found some art of Blue Star being chased by one of the dogs. Which I think is just really, like, I just think the dog is very well, like, shown in this. I think it's really good.
Yeah, very evocative.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, from what I can tell, people are very positive on this book, which, duh.
Yeah. It's a good one. Definitely near the top of my list of the things that we've read.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm putting it on my list for Julia, as this is one of the ones that you should read, which also means I'm putting it on the list for AJ, so.
One day we will grasp them all in our net, the tangled web we weave.
Join us. On that note, why don't we head to our Warrior Cat of the Week?
Hell yeah. Who have you picked this week?
So I'm pretty sure I picked a character that you picked for the simple fact that they are a character you very much enjoy and had some pretty good moments in this book. My cat of the week is Brackenfur.
Oh my gosh. This is not my pick this week.
Really? Interesting. Who's your pick?
My pick is actually, it's a tie. It is a duo. It is Cloudtail and Brightpaw.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
There's just so many really good scenes there for them. I also believe I picked Brackenfur either last episode or the episode before, so I was trying to like not do the thing of just be like Brackenfur, but I'm so excited that he got a mention here. Really, he is an exceptional boy in this episode, in this book.
Yeah, I picked Brackenfur because specifically, like, this is the moment when I was like, oh, this makes sense. Now I realize why he is Scout's favorite character.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, everything makes sense now.
Everything makes sense now. I watch that cat play with a small deaf child, and I get it. I understand. Yeah.
I'm like, of course Scout imprinted on this one.
I see into Scout's soul in this moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely, like, it was almost, but I was trying to like be cool. But yeah, so Cloudtail and Brightpaw together kind of as a duo for this one. I think they both have incredible moments. I think they have incredible moments together. We didn't bring it up, but the scene where Cloudtail brings Brightpaw to meet Princess, and Princess is really scared of Brightpaw because Brightpaw has this scarring and has been really terribly injured, and like Brightpaw goes and looks in a puddle and sees herself, and that's another one of the moments where Cloudtail says, you're still beautiful to me. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah, it hits. Man, this book hits.
This book hits.
It was really hard to pick a favorite because it was a hard pick for
so
many shining moments.
Oh, so many good ones.
Oh, man.
All right.
Please read this book, guys. It's so good. Like,
it's so good.
Genuinely
read this one. This one's so good. Wow. Well, dear listeners, do you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us? Well, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter and now on Blue Sky at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat, and you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com. Links to all of that, as well as my Ko-fi page, will also be in the show notes.
And you can find me still on Twitter at plot_twists, on Blue Sky at plot-twists, or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss the Super Edition Leopard Star's Honor. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.